FM, your number one source for R&B in the Bahamas. Yeah.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. So here's the deal. Tomorrow we're going to have a special broadcast where we're going to be on location as a result of a promotion that we have going on here at Global, a Peace on the Streets promotion. And so tomorrow's show, I'm working on a couple of guests who will be able to speak to the whole issue of crime and crime prevention and that kind of thing. So usually tomorrow would be more open line, but because it's going to be that special broadcast, I've decided to make today more of the open line show in the view, with the view that tomorrow we're going to be doing something special for our promotion. And so that means that you guys are my co-hosts today instead of tomorrow. Because like I said, tomorrow is going to be a special broadcast. We're going to be on air for several hours, talking about peace on the streets and crime prevention and what we all need to do to pitch in to make our Bahamas a safer place. And so, Jason, I need you to put the banners up with the telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages and text messages only is 8010271, 8010271. So, I you may notice that something is missing from the desk in front of me, because usually I'm sitting here with a laptop in front of me. Well, my laptop decided to die on me yesterday. I mean, dead. So, so I took it in to see if they could do anything to repair it. And the guy called me today and he said, Ms. Malcolm, what I got to go through to repair this, you might as well buy a new one. I'm like, oh, man. So anyway, I don't have my new laptop as yet. I don't have one as yet. So I am laptop free today. And so that's why there's no laptop in front of me. And you're not going to see, like normally I try to log in with my laptop to have a different camera angle. You ain't getting none of that today. Today's going to be just this wide angle for the whole show because it is what it is. But because it died on me yesterday, it was very difficult for me to pull clips as I normally would for an open line show because I was only working with my cell phone. And, based on the editing software that I use, sometimes I have to edit clips. It just wasn't happening without a laptop. So I say that to say that I only have 2 clips on the show today. And so I'm really relying on you guys out there to do your part as my co-host and call in and let's talk about these issues that are facing the nation today. Now, everybody still around the world and here at home to a certain degree is talking about FTX. It just keeps on going and going like the Energizer Bunny. And I don't know how many of y'all are old enough to remember those commercials with the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And, many people have decided, like everything else in this country, to try to make this all about politics. Oh, this all happened under the PLP administration. So PLP got egg on their face and all this kind of stuff. Well, there's this video that's making its rounds of one Kwesi Thompson, who very, very recently in the House of Assembly had all these wonderful things to say about FTX and the fact that FTX was brought to the Bahamas by the FNM. And it's amazing how plenty of people's mouth has changed since this whole thing has blown up. All of a sudden, people have very short-term memories as to how long FTX has been in the Bahamas and what they've been doing, etc., prior to April of this year. So let's go to this clip, the very first one, and let's hear what Mr. Kwesi Thompson had to say prior to the collapse
of 2021. Here is what Sam Bankman-Fried, who is the CEO of FTX, said. In addressing the groundbreaking of the company's West Bay Street headquarters, noted that after undertaking an extensive search, the Bahamas ultimately proved to be the top-ranking jurisdiction in all the metrics the company was looking for to put down its roots. He went on to say, the search came down to roughly 7 jurisdictions that had not been crossed off their list. He noted that the Bahamas regulatory framework, the Digital Assets Registered Exchanges legislation, also known as the DARE Act, was key in attracting the company to the Bahamas. So, Madam Speaker, we have to support this. We have to support the continuation of this initiative. It was our initiative. The vision was laid out in 2018, where we went to the world and said to the world that we want to be a player in this space. It was then put together by the Securities Commission. The regulatory regime was put together by the Securities Commission in 2020. And then we didn't see the fruits of the regulation in 2021, where we have the second largest digital exchange company in the world who decided that as a result of your regulatory framework, we will set up base in the Bahamas. I am also advised that there are a number of other major players on the level of FTX who are in the process of applying through the Securities Commission to do a similar thing, to have their headquarters set up here in the Bahamas. So, Madam Speaker, again, we have to support this. We are therefore pleased to see the fruits of the Free National Movement have resulted in FTX moving to the Bahamas, and we are pleased to see the other wonderful results. My only, and I say this selfishly, my only regret is that we were unable to get FTX to set up shop in Freeport or set up shop in Grand Bahama, as opposed to doing it in New Providence. But maybe next time, when the other companies come, member for West Grand Bahama, that you can influence them to come to Grand Bahama and set up shop in Grand Bahama. It is also good to see the government continuing the vision of the Free National Movement. Companies like FTX are game changers for the Bahamas. In fact, we saw in the just in the paper today, just in the paper this morning, in the business section this morning, where it says investment companies like FTX's arrival to establishment of Atlantis. In essence, FTX is to the Bahamian fintech industry and Bahamian technology industry what Atlantis is for tourism. And we know what Atlantis means for tourism in the Bahamas. And FTX's arrival here in the Bahamas is like what Atlantis is for tourism. But what next, Madam Speaker? We cannot just sit back and let.
Okay, that ended suddenly. But that was in May of this year. Those were the words of Kwesi Thompson in May of this year. In other words, when things were going or looking good with FTX, in essence, what he was saying is, y'all don't be around here beating y'all chests about FTX because it's the F&M that's responsible for them being here. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. And y'all don't be taking credit for what the F&M did. It was the F&M who attracted them to the Bahamas. And now that the you-know-what has hit the fan, all of a sudden, mouth change. Now, the leader of the opposition, Michael Pintard, has been asking questions about whether or not anybody within the PLP or the PLP itself received any financing or funding from FTX. That's a good question. But an equally good question is whether or not anybody in the F&M or the Free National Movement itself receive any kind of payments from FTX. Inquiring minds would like to know. Because clearly, as you would have heard Mr. Thompson himself say in that clip, it was the F&M who was responsible for bringing them here. And we don't want y'all around here beating y'all chest like y'all do something because it was really the work of the F&M that brought FTX into this country. My. So, Michael, you're right. Good question to the PLP. Did anybody within the PLP party, the PLP itself, did any of y'all receive any funds from FTX? But don't stop there, Michael. Ask the same question to your colleagues who were sitting around the table when they brought FTX to this country. See, we like to play politics so much in this country that we want everybody to stick their head in the sand with every issue. Look at it through the filter of the colors of the party you support. I've been saying for years, Peter ain't no better than Paul. You're looking at two sides of the same coin. But they playing on your emotions who can't see beyond your party colors. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good day, Lady Malcolm. How are you?
Excellent. How are you today?
Come to the head of the class with me. Because let me tell you something. Yesterday, when I have all this ruckus, I hear Pinto saying, I wish you had this show yesterday. I call that show and I tell them, yes, good with Pinto saying, but Pinto sweep your own dorm out before you go looking sweeping the PLP dorm out.
Ain't that something?
Now, he might not have done anything, but
Right.
buddy, I ain't sure all his people in his party, you understand what I'm saying?
I understand fully, especially knowing how much money FTX was throwing around.
Man, listen, I even said yesterday, it is alleged, now that I hear all this corruption with Albany and all of that, involved too, that during the last administration, some higher up top man, I ain't want to call no name or say what it is, got $2 million from Albany to keep Albany open throughout the duration of the pandemic. And that come from that last party. So, Pinto, you better, like you said, be careful what you ask for. Thank you, Lady Malcolm, for taking my call.
Thanks for calling. According to folks in the U.S., they claim that FTX spent $300 million buying up a bunch of properties around here, including, I think, 18 luxury properties in Albany, which they had the unmitigated gall to put the names of their executives on. So, in other words, everybody's could be living soft, right? But according to local sources, they could only account for $130 million, I think it is, that was spent on real estate here in the Bahamas. But according to the people in the States, which is coming out now more and more in this, Shelly, you coming in or you ain't coming in? She says she listening. She might come join us. Anyhow, according to the people in the States, information coming out during this, this liquidation, bankruptcy proceedings, they say $300 million was spent on real estate in the Bahamas by FTX. 300 million. Now, I have seen persons saying that because of all of this purchasing of land and etc., what they were doing is that they were driving the prices up to the degree that regular Bahamians or even non-regular Bahamians who got a couple of little dollars, were finding it hard to purchase properties because of the fact that they were driving prices up because they was buying up everything. You could say, Michelle, it's $1 billion company, so why not? But the only problem is that was other people's money. Man, come join me, man. Or you gotta go. Come. Give us a couple minutes. It's Shelly Lewis, y'all. No, one thing but say whatever you're saying in the mic. And come a little closer so they can see you on the screen.
There was some of the questions raised at press briefing today with regards to.
I heard your voice, by the way.
How much monies, and one of the questions that I posed was, with all that property being purchased in the Bahamas and New Providence in particular,
right?
How much taxes did government collect? Well, according to the Office of the Prime Minister, the Attorney General will speak to it.
Right.
I asked if it's going to be sooner than later. So we're looking to hear from the AG sometime next week. With regards to everything pertaining to FTX.
Everything they want to tell us.
Yeah, what they want to tell us. So I asked, how many Bahamians invested in FTX? How many politicians invested in FTX? What was some of the, the taxes government obtained from FTX and so forth?
Right.
What were some of the concessions? So we're told that they will speak to it next week. They want to tell us. But right now I have to go bake apple pie.
Man, look here, man. All over Bahamians supposed to be running to celebrate the American thing, man. What y'all dealing with?
We have a little joint video conference with my U.S. family.
Oh, okay. I mean, listen, we in the Bahamas, we give thanks every day.
Yeah, we give thanks every day.
We ain't got to wait till one day or the
No, we don't have to. But this is a time when, we take time to be together to give thanks. And, so.
I just, I just think we like to follow the U.S. so much that we want to take on their holidays and everything. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
We get a time to just hang out with family.
But everything all set for tomorrow for this
Yes,
special broadcast we're doing
ready, and-
tomorrow?
yeah, and that's something that we want to talk.
Yeah, let's
mention
talk about it real
before
quick
we
before
leave.
you go bake this apple pie. If it wasn't gluten, I was gonna beg you for peace, but I don't eat no gluten, and I know that I ain't gluten free.
So it's going right now. I probably have to buy an apple pie. But yeah, tomorrow, we're gonna launch the Stop the Violence piece on the street. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Mhm.
And our live broadcast is going to start from 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we're going to go straight throughout the day. And we're going to be coming from the Ivory Plaza. That's at the entrance of Montel Heights and
Mhm.
Robinson Road.
Mhm.
It's right across from Doc's Pharmacy.
Right.
And we're bringing together businesses, residents, different organizations, stakeholders. We want to bring more awareness to the perplexing pandemic of crime in this country.
Mhm.
Everyone knows that crime has escalated over the past several months. This year, we've seen 119 murders. We've seen almost a 200% increase in armed robberies against businesses. Practically every day, a business is being held at gunpoint. Innocent employers and employees are being, just living in fear, operating in fear every day.
Yeah.
And we want to partner. We're going to partner with, different organizations. So we're going to let our voices be heard, and we are not going to sit back and allow the criminals, the perpetrators of crime, to take control and have us living in fear. So we're going to be broadcasting, as I mentioned, from Robinson Road. That is our first launch. This is actually the initial launch of the campaign. We're going to go straight through to December, and we're going to take a break for the Christmas holidays, and then we're going to go into next year. We want to really bring on more people, because as long as they know our voices, in the news we broadcasting, and sometimes I think the criminal like to be recognized, but we want to let them know that there are persons like us who will not tolerate the criminal elements that's perpetrating, instilling the fear in our everyday lives.
Right.
So tomorrow is going to be the launch of Stop the Violence, Peace on the Street. And we're going to be coming from Robinson Road. We're going to be making some noise on Robinson Road. We're going to have a number of speakers, persons coming, joining us on the panel. And we're going to just dedicate tomorrow to stopping the violence. And also going to be joining us the team from Urban Renewal, because a part of this initiative, we're going to be embracing the family through Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
And we're going to be hosting some 1,500 persons to a Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, no,
We're
nice.
embracing the family. All of this is a part to show that the family is the key foundation. Once we start with the family, the root of everything, we can solve all other problems. So all of this is coming together, and we're going to be out there tomorrow. And you'll hear more about the initiative in terms of embracing the family, what we plan to do in partnership with Urban Renewal, the police, and everybody. So join us, and your portion comes on at 2 o'clock.
2 to 4.
And persons can still call into the show tomorrow. So, even though we're on remote,
Mhm.
they can still let their voices be heard. But we need to sound the alarm that we will not sit by and tolerate the level of crime in this country.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
Sounds really good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm working really hard to try to get some persons on my portion of the show who can speak to, the criminal element, and they're not confirmed yet, so I may have to borrow a couple of your guests. But
Well, it's open. It's an open show. We're going to accommodate residents, the businesses. If you want to have something to say, if you want to just share your thoughts of what we can do to
Right.
help solve this problem, because in that vicinity there's Montel Heights,
Mhm.
and during the news every day, I look at the crime reports, and a lot of criminal activity comes out of Montel Heights.
right.
And the Transforming Dave, who's also going to be on the panel with us, they held a concert there last week on the Montel Heights Park. And I know Prison Fellowship, they'll be continuing from us on Saturday morning to feed the children in the Montel Heights area. Well, I fed them 2 weeks ago. So it's something that is going to be ongoing, and we're joining with, like I said, with different organizations
Yeah.
to bring more awareness, to let them know that we have good, decent people like us who are not going to sit by and tolerate the crime.
Good stuff. And by the way, we need more sponsors, y'all.
Right.
It's costing us money to do this. So if you want to sponsor any or a part of this broadcast, because we're going to be on from like 11 a.m.
Straight through
to 4 p.m. If you own a business, hit us up. What you could do is, for those of you on Facebook who, and listen, only $450, and they get advertisements
Straight
for an
through
entire
December.
month. So that's taking you right into
Exactly.
Christmas, people.
Right, and you can advertise during the month of December, which is prime time, which is the peak season for adverts.
You can't beat over the
You
stick.
can't beat it. And at the same time, you will be sharing the message, that crime doesn't pay.
Right.
So, it's something that we want to push, and we want everyone to become involved and see how best you can work with us.
Yeah.
Just, and we're going to have the other media join us in January in terms of really expanding on it. But in the meantime, we want to launch it, especially that we're going into the holiday season and everyone say, oh, what we can expect. But no, we're not going to say what we can expect. We're going to say what we can do.
Right.
Okay.
Shelley, thank you so much for joining me in these couple of minutes.
Right. And we look forward to hearing from the AG on the FTX saga
Yeah.
as it continues.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, and enjoy your Thanksgiving gathering. Listen, like I said, we need sponsors. Okay. So if you are interested in sponsoring this event, if you own a small business, medium business, big business, whatever size, or you provide a service or anything, $450 takes care of ads for the entire month of December. You cannot beat that. So message me on Facebook if you're interested. Just put something like Peace on the Streets interested or something like that, and we will have somebody reach out to you to find out how you can be a part of this and take advantage of these great rates while sending a message that we will not tolerate crime. You can advertise your business right into the Christmas season, so you're killing two birds with one stone. All right, we got to take a break. My producer playing music said, "Are you trying to tell me something?" Well, let's take this break. And then when we come back, we're going to continue talking about this FTX situation and anything else you guys want to talk about. Because like I said, today is going to be the open line as opposed to tomorrow. So like and share the show. Let everybody know we're on the air. And we'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem. Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims fix and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients. Plus, prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company today on this Thursday that we're treating as an open line show on this Thanksgiving Thursday. Because we have a special broadcast planned for tomorrow. The telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line is 8010271, 8010271. Speaking of WhatsApp, somebody has here, Jason, don't forget the comments. Somebody has here, Lady Malcolm, regarding how much tax the government got from FTX real estate purchases. Tell Madam Shelley Lewis, just calculate all the VAT and relevant real estate transaction taxes the government would get from over $300 million worth of real estate sales. Yeah, this, I just have a feeling that as the days go by, more and more and more and more stuff is going to be revealed. I just think we need to brace ourselves for what's going to come out. I just have this feeling, sometimes you get this gut feeling, and I'm not hoping that we get any more egg on our face, but I just have this gut feeling that there's so much more to come. And that is going to be kind of embarrassing for us as a jurisdiction. Hope I'm wrong, but I just have this feeling that there's a lot more of this that's going to come out. The telephone numbers to call once again, 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages only is 8010271, 8010271. So there's this back and forth now between the Securities Commission of the Bahamas and the Securities, the U.S. CEO involved now in this FTX bankruptcy case, because they are charging over there in the U.S. that the Bahamas was responsible for these hacks we've been seeing of FTX, that the Bahamas was behind all of these hacks to try to, I guess, gain more control over the situation. Well, the Securities Commission says that the U.S. CEO misrepresented local actions taken. So this is what the Securities Commission of the Bahamas has had to say. They said that representatives, they're firing back at the representatives of the FTX US who have continued to raise concerns over the Commission's decision to transfer some of FTX's assets to a digital wallet that the Securities Commission of the Bahamas controls. So, in the face of continued hacks on the cryptocurrency exchange, the commissioner said it made the right choice. FTX Trading and over 100 other affiliate companies, which filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the US, appeared in court on Tuesday and raised the issue once again. This is court in the United States. And they are being quoted by the National Guardian saying, as we noted in our pleadings to transfer, we do have evidence that there has been movement of assets out of the debtor's estate to the Bahamas. James Bromley, the proposed co-counsel for FTX Trading, said. There have been somewhat cryptic comments that have been issued by the government of the Bahamas as to the actions they have taken with respect to certain assets. That was a quote. In court filings last week, FTX's new CEO, John Ray III, who was appointed after Sam Bankman-Fried resigned, was a bit more frank in what he had to say. He said the debtors thus have credible evidence that the Bahamian government is responsible for directing unauthorized access to the debtors' systems for the purpose of obtaining digital assets of the debtors that took place after the commencement of these cases. But the Securities Commission of the Bahamas said this was a misrepresentation of the facts. It said, given the nature of digital assets and the risks associated with hacking and compromise, the commission determined that placing FDM into liquidation was not sufficient to protect the customers and creditors of FDM. So FTX Digital Markets, or FDM, the Bahamian-based branch of FTX, and the company Bahamian Liquidators says is the nerve center of the entire FTX operation, and it was placed into liquidation on November 10th. The commission said, accordingly, on the 12th of November, 2022, the commission sought an additional order from the Supreme Court of the Bahamas for authority under the DARE Act to transfer all digital assets of FTX into digital wallets under the exclusive control of the Commission for the benefit of clients and creditors of FDM. And it is unfortunate that in Chapter 11 filings, the new CEO of FTX Trading Limited misrepresented this timely action through the intemperate and inaccurate allegations lodged in the transfer motion. They continue to say, it is also concerning that the Chapter 11 debtors chose to rely on the statements of individuals they have, in other filings, characterized as unreliable sources of information and potentially seriously compromised. Further, the statements made by the purported officers of FTX Trading Limited and the other purported Chapter 11 debtors that they have suffered significant thefts, that their systems were compromised, and that they continue to face new hacking attempts, reinforces the wisdom of the Commission's prompt action to secure these digital assets. The Commission will continue to evaluate the situation, continue to act in accordance with directions issued by the Supreme Court of the Bahamas, collaborate with other supervisory authorities, and take such further actions as needed to preserve the assets of FDM and to safeguard the interests of customers and creditors of FDM. In addition, the Commission will continue to investigate the facts and circumstances regarding FTX's liquidity crisis and any potential violations of Bahamian law, and hold any responsible companies and individuals accountable in cooperation with other regulatory agencies and law enforcement, both in the Bahamas and in other affected countries, in connection with their own investigations. The Commission also looks forward to continuing to cooperate with the authorities in other jurisdictions to ensure the cooperative and vigorous resolution of all necessary proceedings to effect those ends. So now we've got this back and forth between the U.S. authorities and the Bahamian, well, not the U.S. authorities, but the persons now at the head of the U.S. arm of FTX and the Bahamian authorities by way of the Securities Commission of the Bahamas about the moving of funds from FTX's operation. I must say that, this has received international attention, obviously. This is being reported around the world. This is not just something that is being dealt with here in the Bahamas, but just about every news agency that you tune into, the US and elsewhere, everybody's talking about this humongous crash. And I mean, it is significant. It's not some little small deal. And clearly, because we are the jurisdiction in which FTX was about to set up its headquarters, and we made such a big deal out of it, and we are the regulatory district, clearly the Bahamas is at the center of all of this. Whether or not it is something that could have been avoided, it depends on who you talk to. Some people say, our regulatory agency wasn't well staffed enough or didn't have the level of expertise needed to catch something like this. But in all fairness, these folks swing plenty big timers in the U.S. too. Not just celebrities, but supposedly credible financial institutions that you would think would have been able to pick this up before the fallout. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes next. I know it ain't over by far. I think we got a lot more to go. I want to hear from you guys, though. What are your thoughts on these latest developments? I hear from JT in a couple of days. I know what's going on with JT. JT, if you all right, let me hear from you. I get a little concerned because JT is usually one of my first callers. And I haven't heard from JT in a couple of days. Well, but yeah, this is getting very, very interesting. So there's an article that appears in the Tribune saying that according to Minnis, former Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the government needs to give answers over FTX. Yeah, you need to get some answers yourself, Mr. Minnis. Anyway, let me just read the article. It says, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis has insisted there are many FTX-related questions that need answers by the Davis administration. As the Bahamas-based crypto exchange funds collapse is news around the world, the Killarney MP said the spotlight has been shone on FTX's conduct and the people behind the operation. For the record, these are the same people who was behind the operation when you, Mr. Minnis, and your administration welcomed them with open arms into the Bahamas. But I digress. Dr. Minnis said the lingering questions included whether Prime Minister Philip Davis and his government did any business with FTX, which committed money from the government. He also wants the Prime Minister to say whether his law firm conducted business with or on behalf of FTX or any of its associated companies. Dr. Menace continued, did the Prime Minister or any of his cabinet or his senior advisors invest in or have investments in FTX? Has the Prime Minister been a beneficiary of any business or funds from FTX? Did the Prime Minister or any of his cabinet or his senior advisors benefit in any way from FTX? These are all questions now being asked by Hewitt Minnis. Can the government confirm the date or dates when any responsible supervisory authority made on-site visits and inspections of the operations, ledgers of accounts, and books of FTX or any associated entity in the Bahamas with full particularity as to the dates and time taken in such on-site visits and inspections? Has the government launched any criminal investigation against Mr. Bankman-Fried and any of his colleagues at FTX? These are very interesting questions, Mr. Minnis. I would like to add to this list of questions, Mr. Minnis, as to what kind of due diligence your administration did prior to welcoming these people with open arms to the Bahamas. Or was it just the case where, because this young man and his cohorts were being touted as, he was the boy wonder, the golden boy, this young billionaire, that y'all were so blinded by the money that you didn't, like it appears the entire world, do your due diligence to find out who you were welcoming into the country? You can't answer that, Mr. Minnis? The point I'm trying to make here is this. I don't want none of y'all coming around here trying to score political brownie points when it comes to this FTX situation. Because the F&M bring them here, and the PLP happened to be sitting in the seat when they when they decided to make the Bahamas their permanent home. So both of you all have your hand mixed up in this. Don't be coming around here acting all innocent like y'all politicians is something else. Y'all really special. Jason, comments. I need you to step it up, please. Wow. Guys, let me hear from you. 3260271. 3260271. 3260271. 3260272. 3260272. Or on the WhatsApp line, 8010271. 8010271. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this whole thing. I think we need answers for sure. I'm not saying that we shouldn't receive answers, but those answers have to be to questions that would have been formulated before September of 2021, which is when governments change hands, administrations change hands in this country, because clearly FTX was around prior to September of last year. And so many of these questions which you're all putting out to the PLP, I want y'all, like Michael Jackson say, look at the man in the mirror and see what role you had to play in getting the Bahamas mixed up in this mess. That's what I would like to know. Whether or not your administration, Mr. Minnis, is willing to take any responsibility for where we are today with regard to this FTX situation. Inquiring minds would like to know. What are your thoughts, sir, on that? Do you all have any responsibility? Because, based on a clip, what we heard from Mr. Thompson in May, the PLP That's when things were good. The PLP shouldn't be around here, trying to take credit for the work that the F&M did. It was the F&M that put in the framework to attract these people, and it was the F&M which welcomed them to the country. Don't forget, you're all benefiting from the F&M's work. Well, it can be where you're willing to take credit when things are good. But when things go south, then you scrambling for cover and pointing the finger at the other fellas. Because you was quick to take credit when things were good. So what say you now? Telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, WhatsApp 8010271. Why y'all scared to touch this man? How come ain't nobody calling? What's going on out there? Y'all ain't want to touch this one? It's just me out here talking? I don't know. But like Ricky used to say to Lucy, Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Well, it seems that politicians across the board, on both sides, got some explaining to do. And I just think it's real interesting. And I am waiting, just like the rest of y'all, to see what's going to come out of this. In the meantime, we're going to take a break now. On the other side of the break, I need to be hearing from y'all. Use the numbers 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, WhatsApp 8010271. Even if y'all don't want to talk about FTX, we can talk about something else. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blasted loud.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
We are back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here on this beautiful Thursday, this Thanksgiving Thursday afternoon, which actually we're treating as an open line show today because tomorrow we have a special broadcast planned for the launch of our Peace on the Streets initiative here at Global Radio, and we're going to be doing several hours of special broadcast tomorrow, beginning at 11 a.m. all the way up to 4 p.m. So that covers the time of my show. And we're going to be on location on Robinson Road, talking about, how do we get this crime situation under control? What do we need to be doing as individuals, as business persons, as communities, as families, as a nation to bring this vexing problem under control? So that's going to be tomorrow. We have a series of special guests planned, and it's going to be a wonderful day tomorrow. And so tomorrow, seeing that show is pretty much taking another direction, I decided to make today the open line show where we hear from you. And I know a lot of y'all got your hand in food preparing for this big Thanksgiving dinner. So, you may not be able to pick up the phone and call, but if you can pick up the phone and call, please do so. I'd love to hear from you. Telephone numbers 3260271. 3260271. Did you miss any, Jason? 3260272. 3260272. And the WhatsApp line for text messages only, 8010271. 8010271. All right. So seeing that y'all, well, I hear the phone ringing. Let me see if that's a caller for the show first before I move on to the next subject. Because I was just going to say, seeing that y'all don't seem to want to talk about FTX, we can move on and talk about something else. Let me see what my producer's saying. Jason, yes, no, maybe so. What does that mean? Is that a caller or not? Yeah? Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes, Madam Michelle.
How are you?
What year does that FTX established themselves in the Bahamas?
I think it was 2020.
2020.
I mean, when you say establish, what you mean?
Then they first made application to operate business in the Bahamas.
Oh. I
That was under the FNM government or the PLP?
I think it was under the FNM. They
initiate all the initial stages. And then they didn't put anything.
It was just before the PLP came into power.
So while they were throwing games, then the stock exchange crashed and everything else, and then they didn't put anything in place, and the PLP tried to put things in place, and then they pointing fingers. Is that fair?
Welcome to Politics in the Bahamas.
Well, we gotta try and resolve this, because if something is good for the country, then it should be continuous.
It can't only be. My point is, it can't only be good for the country when things going good.
Right. No, when it's going bad, then you say that we made a mistake, and then the other party saw that was a great thing.
Yeah,
they didn't do their due diligence.
I think certain things, and this is a lesson we have yet to learn in this country. certain things go beyond politics. Everything in this country, we go by politics.
Right.
And we have to get to the point where we have to understand that sometimes you got to put your nation first.
Right.
Everything can't be about politics. Because if this thing go down, when I say this, I'm talking about
No,
the
a
country.
lot. At the end of the day, at the end of this episode, a lot of stuff will be revealed. You know,
A lot of what?
a lot of stuff was ran down prior
Mm-hmm.
and continuously. What's going on now?
Mm-hmm.
That should be revealed at the end of the day. You know,
It's coming out.
only it's a matter of time.
It's coming out. I have a
Yes,
feeling.
Yeah.
I have a feeling there's a lot going to be revealed in all of this.
And Michelle, I would say to you, congratulations to you with what you are doing on the areas, even if you were victimized in other areas, but continue the good work, right? I'm one of your support. I'm one of your supporters and listeners.
Thank you. Let me ask my supporters and listeners a favor.
Yes, ma'am.
Go to your favorite businesses
Uh-huh.
and tell them, listen, man, if you ain't already doing so, you need to support GPS.
So
Because we cannot stay on the air without sponsors. You know how many times I go around the place and people are like, oh, Michelle, I love your show and I don't miss your show. And
Right.
then why your favorite businesses ain't advertising on the show?
Okay. I would try my endeavor best.
We need
But
your
I'm-
support.
but my name is Timberwood from Lucho, and
Uh-huh.
I started a little landscaping business.
Okay.
And I'll be more than happy whatever little contribution that I can do to promote my business in the new year.
Yeah.
Because I'm planning to go full force into it.
Okay.
And I have a landscaping and trucking company.
So leave your contacts, your name and contacts with my producer.
Yes,
and
ma'am. And I'll be
reach
more
out
than
to you
happy
after the
whatever
show.
little contribution I can make.
Yeah.
Even if it's just be a little donation.
Don't look at it as a donation. I mean, you know, we
I'm
could
promoting.
produce we could produce a little commercial for your company and you advertise your company.
Okay.
We ain't looking for handouts.
No, but BSP Evans, we got to support our local stuff.
Yeah.
And this is good. Educational.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You know,
You
people,
with me?
like I say, everywhere I go, Miss Malcolm, keep up the good work. You
Yeah.
know, and
But,
I'm like,
there's another expense that good work that your company is doing at this point in time.
yeah, we need sponsors. So
Right.
again, we're not asking for handouts.
No, that's not a handout.
We
But
will
we need-
advertise your business and know that your business is going to be
Okay.
heard by a widespread audience.
I'll be
growing.
more than happy to. I'll
Okay.
hold and give you produce my number.
All right, cool. Thank you so much for your support.
Yes, ma'am, Michelle. Thank you.
I had one of my sponsors on the set a couple of weeks ago. I come to you right now, Colin. Sonny from Sunshine Auto. And Sonny decided to take a chance on me and advertise my show for the year, but I don't think Sonny realized the reach. So anyhow, he came on the set and we had a good time. When I saw him again, he said, Michelle, I had no idea. I said, what happened? Everywhere I go, people saying, boy, Sonny, I see you on Michelle's show. I hear you on Michelle's show. He said, I didn't know. I'm like, yeah. So, yeah. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Excellent. How are you today?
Good. I'm interested in sponsoring your show.
All right.
I've been trying to do this.
Really?
The company is in Freeport,
Uh-huh.
but it's a big company and it's everywhere.
Okay.
So, you can give me a call back.
So
You can
stay
take
on
me
the
off
line.
air and I'll give you my cell number.
Stay on the line, and my producer will take your number as well, your name and number, and we will call you
Okay.
back, okay?
All right, not a
I
problem.
appreciate that so much.
Yeah, I've been trying to get in contact with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are broadcasting in Grand Bahama as well. For those of you who own businesses in Grand Bahama, we are airing live on Grand Bahama as well. So it's not just here in New Providence. And then, of course, we stream live on Facebook and YouTube, as well as we're on channel 974 on cable. So you definitely will get good exposure. All right, if you advertise here, this is good. This is good ground. to plant that seed, you're going to get very, very good exposure. Like I said, everywhere I go, people who you least expect to be listening are saying, boy, Miss Malcolm, I really enjoy your show. I don't miss your show. I'm like, really? Wow, thank you so much. So yeah, we desperately need you guys to put your money where your mouth is. You're all business persons who enjoy listening to us and keep us on the air. Because as much as I love what I do, I can't work for free. I got bills to pay just like everybody else. So while y'all sitting back enjoying my work, if you have a business or a service that you can advertise, and we keep the prices very affordable, I'd appreciate that support. Because Sister Girl got bills to pay. And the only way to do that is when I get paid through my work. So as much as I love to do this, this is not national service. This is what I do for a living. And you know what annoys me? I can just say it. When we get professionals who come and they want to make an appearance on the show to promote whatever it is that they got going on. And then when you say to them, okay, this is what it's going to cost. Oh, I don't have no budget for that. Well, I can walk in your office and say, I want your service, but I ain't got no budget to pay you. I can do that. You aren't going to go to the doctor office and tell the doctor to treat you for whatever condition you have going on, but you ain't got no money to pay them. They'll quickly call the security and escort you out. So why y'all think I must work for free? Why y'all think that we don't need to be paid for the work that we do? Why you think it's okay for you to come take advantage of the airwaves and the audience that we have built, but you ain't got no budget to pay us? How does this work? Make it make sense. So just a word for those of you out there who own businesses and who trying to promote something. Don't be calling me up to promote your things for free, and then you don't want to buy one ad on the show. No, it doesn't work that way. This is a business, just like your business is a business. So don't come here talking about you ain't got no money for that. You ain't budget for that. Well, I can't go in the food store and pick up a bunch of things and put them in the carton and tell them people when I get to the counter, to the checkout counter, well, I have no budget for this. I bring the money, so just give me the grocery, let me go. Yeah, right. Y'all need to stop that foolishness in this country. Okay, that's enough of that. Telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for. Did you give me the WhatsApp phone? Okay, bring the WhatsApp phone, please, if you can. WhatsApp line. Oh, it's right here. 8010271. Yeah, I did read from this earlier, didn't I? 8010271. I do have a couple of messages here. Okay, let me see what y'all saying. All right, let's see what y'all are saying. Lady Malcolm, I too hope JT is okay. Being the Bahamas patriot that he is, JT is probably a tad depressed, or at least distressed at the negative exposure or attention the FTX drama is drawing to the Bahamas. Yeah, JT, we waiting to hear from you, man. Let us know you're okay, because it's not like you to not call for so long. Another one says, good afternoon, Michelle. Politicians are special indeed. I am so happy you played that clip. It is so funny that everyone wants to take credit when things are working out, but no one is willing to when the sugar honey iced tea hits the fan. These politicians say things and contradict themselves, but rely on the fact that no one will research. I commend you for what you do and your unbiased opinions. Thank you for playing that clip, because we would have simply pointed fingers at the PLP while the FNM needed Hussey as much blame or more. I think you must have meant to say needed Mussy as much blame as more. I'm not sure what you meant to say there. Yeah, our politicians, they rely on us not doing our due diligence. They rely on that. They bank on that, in fact. They bank on the fact that most people aren't going to go digging. And so whatever they present to you, that's what you run with. They bank on that. And the foolishness got to stop. They're too hypocritical. Okay, somebody says, Ms. Malcolm, I listen to you every day and I have recommended a prominent business to advertise with your show. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate that very, very much. All right. Telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line 8010271, 8010271. All right. So I guess we can switch gears because there ain't too many people calling about this FTX situation. Y'all must be in shock, eh? Is that what's going on here? That y'all just heard the clip and that left y'all speechless? Anyhow. Okay, so Standard & Poor's has given the Bahamas a shot in the arm while further exposing that additional taxation will almost certainly be needed to hit the government's fiscal targets, a government reformer warned yesterday. Hubert Edwards, head of the Organization for Responsible Governance Economic Development Committee, told the Tribune Business that the ratings agency's decision to maintain the Bahamas' B+ credit rating and stable outlook had provided a level of validation that the Davis administration's economic and fiscal policies are on the right track. However, both he and Kwesi Thompson, former Minister of State for Finance in the administration, argued that a deeper analysis of S&P's report highlighted significant concern for the Bahamas beyond the immediate term. In particular, the duo pointed to the rating agency slashing its 2023 economic growth forecast for the Bahamas to just 1.1%, as a sign this nation will return to anemic pre-COVID expansion levels more rapidly than anticipated. S&P also asserted that the government will only hit its signature 25% revenue to GDP target by the 2025-2026 fiscal year if it introduces new and or increased taxes or introduces major public spending cuts, options that the Davis administration is currently resisting. Mr. Edwards warned that spending cuts in particular would be a double-edged sword, as they could slow gross domestic product growth if implemented too deeply. So the rating agency Standard & Poor's, despite giving the Bahamas some breathing room to demonstrate its fiscal credibility, is thus already sounding the alarm about this nation's short to medium-term growth prospects, ability to hit key consolidation targets. Mr. Edwards says the cut in the growth rate is one of the most significant issues, and it seems as if the Bahamas, with some additional pressure from inflation, is quickly going back to its normal growth level. This was expected to happen in 2024 and is now happening earlier. This is another signal, he said, that we do not want to see. We'd like to see growth remain at least above 2%, but a 1.1%, at 1.1%, we're moving rapidly back to normal growth. And that is a challenge because the Bahamas needs to grow well beyond the normal growth rate experiences for the last decade or so. His stance was echoed by Mr. Thompson, who said that we cannot deny that we are in a tourism-led recovery, and I believe the stable outlook took into account the tourism-led recovery, but the report also highlighted this recovery may not last forever and be permanent, and that is evidenced by the slash in growth projections to 1.1%. And Mr. Thompson continued that this is very concerning because 1% growth is really very, very close to no growth. And 1% growth is most certainly not sufficient to reduce unemployment. It's not where we want to be. It causes us pause and causes us to be cautious. Okay, so this is what Hubert Edwards and Kwesi Thompson had to say on the matter. Well, our Prime Minister also had his say on fiscal projections as to where he sees the Bahamas going forward. But let's go to the next clip.
Prime Minister Philip Davis says first quarter numbers for the fiscal year 2022-2023 reflect the government's plan to tighten its belt and aggressively pursue new investments. He gave this breakdown in a communication to Parliament on Wednesday.
Total revenues collected during the period amounted to $654.3 million, which is $57.8 million larger than the previous year. Total recurrent expenditure contracted or reduced by $47.8 million to close to $620.6 million. And capital expenditure contracted by $10.2 million to a total of $54.2 million. This has resulted in a first quarter deficit of for 2022-2023 of $20.6 million. This deficit of $20.6 million is the lowest first quarter deficit in more than 10 years.
Prime Minister Davis says the indicators are that finally the economy is overcoming two of its most recent brutal setbacks.
We implemented the economic plan, which was the bedrock of the decisive mandate upon which we were elected. The Bahamian tourism sector continued to rebound, with first quarter domestic economic activity rising to pre-COVID, pre-Hurricane Dorian levels. Year on year, the number of total stopover visitors remained strong as the COVID-19 emergency orders were lifted and COVID-19 protocols eased. Many developments in the Family Islands were also continued.
The Prime Minister also comparing the most recent results of VAT implementation as compared to the rollout of the previous administration.
We have made the point many times, and now the results prove what we've been saying. By reducing the VAT rate from 12% to 10% in January, revenues collected increased because people had more money in their pockets to spend. And each time they spend, VAT revenue improves. We would have thought that the simple logic of how VAT works had already been demonstrated back in 2018, when the previous administration imposed a sudden hike of 60% increase in the VAT rate. This put an immediate brake on economic growth, and VAT revenues increased only marginally.
The International Monetary Fund, IMF, projects that the growth of the economy should remain positive at 3.2%. Keeping you in the know, this is OPM Press Now.
All right. So, I wonder why, this is obviously good news. If you look at it as overall, but much emphasis has been put on the aspect of the report that $4 million was spent on travel by the Davis administration in this first year. And it seems that the rest of the report was ignored. I'm not sure why. But that being said, I think that personally, whereas that is a step in the right direction, I think that we could do even more because we have to be very creative I think, because Bahamian people are wary as it is. And even though, it's the economy, on paper is improving, people still haven't felt it as yet. It still hasn't trickled down as yet to the everyday citizen of the country. And so whenever people hear things like, recommendations to raise taxes, there's this automatic, knee-jerk reaction, because people already feeling the pinch as it is, and can't take much more. That being said, I still want to suggest and join the voices of those who are recommending that, including the Prime Minister, that we be prudent as individuals for what's ahead, because inflation is very, very real. And for all intents, it seems that the U.S. is slipping into a recession. And if they slip into a recession, clearly that's going to impact us, in spite of what some have said to the contrary. Because if Americans, who are the main source of our tourism market, have less money to spend, that means less travel. Less travel means less visitors coming to our country. And less visitors coming to our country, well, you can fill in the rest. So even though it seems that this is a step in the right direction as it relates to overall the improvements in the economy, still be warned. And I'm not trying to be a prophet of doom or gloom, just speaking reality for what it is. Still be warned that you need to be prudent, as the Prime Minister put it, in your spending. Make sure that you are preparing for what will probably happen sooner rather than later as it relates to this recession that's coming. Make sure that you and your family will be able to survive this. Okay? That's my word of advice to you. All right, one more break. Last segment of the show. I need you guys to chime in. And let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. Whatever you want to talk about. This is an open line show today on this Thursday. And y'all are my co-hosts, but y'all falling down on the job today. So let me hear from you guys. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. It's a Thanksgiving Thursday, but we give thanks to God every day in the Bahamas. We don't just wait for one day out of the year. So if you are one of those people who decide to use this opportunity to get together with your family, I ain't hating on you. Because every time that you have an opportunity to do so is a good thing. Just make sure you let your family and your loved ones know that they are important to you and that you love and care for them, because tomorrow's not promised. So many people, anyway, I ain't gonna go there today. I'm not gonna go there today. Telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. WhatsApp line 8010271, 8010271. So what are you thankful for today? Seeing that today is being celebrated as Thanksgiving Day in the United States, and many of us here in the Bahamas are using this as an occasion to bring our families together and have Thanksgiving dinner, for whatever that's worth. What are you thankful for today? Because, we are not perfect as a nation, but I tell you what, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in the world. With all of our problems and all of our challenges, I am thankful that the Lord placed me in the Bahamas and made the Bahamas my home. Because as many problems as we may face as a nation, even some of the largest, most developed nations in the world have their own share of problems. And some of them I don't wish to be a part of. In the United States, as an example, they have this endemic of mass shootings. Even though only one or two make the news, apparently, I was watching CNN last night, they have had over 600 mass shootings in the United States this year. 600. Now, we know that Americans take their right to bear arms seriously. And there's this huge debate going on over there about what can be done to control this problem of these mass shootings. And on one side, they're saying, don't infringe on my right to bear arms. And on the other side, they're saying, well, we should put more measures in place to make it harder for people, especially people with mental issues, to get their hands on firearms. But I thank God I live in a country where, in spite of our challenges with crime, we ain't seeing 600 mass killings in a year. I thank God for that. I thank God I live in a country where, for the most part, I don't have to worry about I got to be careful how I say this. But racism is a very real thing in the United States of America, whether we like to admit it or not. Some states you go to worse than others, but you got to be careful, especially if you're a male and you happen to be of a darker hue. In the United States of America, you already have a target on your back just because of your skin color. In spite of all of our challenges, I'm grateful that I'm not living under that. I will tell you this, even though here in the Bahamas, before majority rule went into effect, Bahamians were treated maybe not as brutally as those in the United States, but Bahamians were treated pretty badly in this country before the Pinling administration took over. And what he did, and what he and his colleagues did, was they really tried to uplift Bahamians. Where they failed was we never really gained economic control of the country, economic freedom. So the same people who had it back then have it now. But at least he tried to uplift the people of the Bahamas, the majority of the people of the Bahamas, in a form of dignity. And Carl, I come to you right now. My very first real experience with racism was when I went off to college in the United States. My first day there. I can tell you a last story after I talked to this person on the phone. Carl, welcome to GPS.
Welcome, Ms. Malcolm. How you doing?
Excellent. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Ms. Malcolm, if you had a choice to live in the United States, what would you choose?
What would I what?
Choose. If you have a choice to live here and live in the United States.
I would live here.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was listening to the news this week. I mean, the gentleman from, I think it's Walmart, I think he killed like about 5 of his co-workers.
6.
6.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got another fella and went into a gay club or something, or a gay restaurant, and killed another group of people, and also wounded about 20 something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had another, I think it's some college street, black college football players or something like that. They're doing something, and the fella went on the bus and just slaughtered them.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't understand why people want to go live in the United States. And we got the best country in the world right here.
I mean, they obviously have a lot of systems that work a lot better than what we have going on here. And we have our share of challenges now. We have our share of challenges. We don't live in a utopia.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that they face in the United States. I am happy I don't live there.
Yeah. I mean, when you see me go away, I can spend about 3 days and I said, I'm ready to come home.
I hear you.
I can't stay over there no longer than that because they all are looking over my shoulder every time I go inside. Like a convenience store or food, it's like somebody always watching me. I just don't feel safe over there at all. I have a passport. I haven't used my passport now, must be for the past 4 or 5 years, and everything is up to date.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Now, let me just say this. Like I say, many of their systems are far more, advanced than ours. We got a long way to go in terms of many of the systems in this country. Things like ease of doing business. We make it so difficult to do business in this country. Prices are ridiculous. I have a friend who lives in San Salvador now, and they were telling me, well, they got a little expensive taste, but they were telling me that they spend like $600 a week on grocery. I say, dude, what you eating? What you eating? But that just tells you how expensive things are. And then you've got the challenges with BPL. And we got our share of problems.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. This is not utopia.
Yeah, but it's better in the Bahamas to me, though.
But that being said,
yes,
there's some things I don't want to deal with in other jurisdictions.
Yeah.
And racism, not to say that we don't have systematic oppression here. Because, we still got some folks who controlling the economy here, and, they do whatever they got to do to keep you, But that being said, that all-out racism in your face situation. Boy, look here, America. And what Trump did, in my humble opinion, is he just made it comfortable for it to come out in the open. It was there all along, but he made them comfortable again to bring that to the surface.
And it's just like you're not safe over there. You go to church, they killing you. They go in the mall, they killing you. They go to the theater, they killing you. They go to a club, they killing you. I don't know.
Yeah, that gun control situation is a serious thing.
Yeah, I don't understand. Okay,
Well,
you have a good evening.
Thanks for calling.
Okay.
You know, when you would think that this is when I realized that Americans, they dead serious when it comes to that right to bear arms. When they kill those little children in Sandy Hook, them little babies, and they still weren't willing to make some significant changes at that time, I said, well, that ain't gonna never happen then. If they see these little babies, these little children get slaughtered, and they still ain't willing to make no changes, any meaningful change, well, that ain't gonna never happen. They dead serious with that gun lobby. If that wasn't going to make them change, I don't know what else will. But you know, like I said, my very first real experience with racism was when I was a college student. My first day in the United States of America as a college student. First day! I got a rude awakening. I lived off campus my first semester with a Black American family because they just didn't have room on campus. And then by the second semester, I was able to, what's going on, Jason? I was able to move on campus by the second semester. So anyway, the young Black American lady that was our host, she told her daughter, the woman told her daughter to take us out to get ice cream that evening. First day in the country. I'm all excited because I was only 17 when I went off to school. We all excited, myself and my dear friend, Sandria Bethel Fleurimond, who ended up staying in the States, Bahamian. We were excited. So we go to get this ice cream. And let's say the place closed at 6:00. We walked in at 5:59. And so the place closed like a minute after we walked in, but they didn't lock the door behind us. And so they're serving us at the counter and say 6:02. This group of white kids walk in. And the girl looks over the counter and she says, "I'm sorry, but we're closed." And they look at us and they say, "Well, how come you're serving these darkies?" And I was like, "Well, what?" Keep in mind, I'm from the Bahamas. So I used to that kind of thing. Even back then, this was early 80s. So I was like, like what did you say? I went in shock. And the African American girl, Black American, whatever you want to call her, she was like, this was like, oh, we're used to that. And I was like, girl, you hear what they just say? She took it in stride. But for me, that was like, oh no, I don't know if I want to stay here because this right here, I used to dealing with this. And she was like, "Michelle, it's no big deal." I'm like, yeah, that is a big deal. So anyway, clearly I stayed. But I'll tell you one thing. By the time I left that university 4 years later, they knew who Michelle Malcolm was. And they knew you don't mess with this island girl when it comes to that. Because I wasn't having it. And it's interesting, because those of us who were from the islands, I realized it very early on that the Caucasians on the campus, when they found out that we weren't African Americans, but we were actually from the islands, they did treat us differently. We were seen as more exotic. And I saw the difference in the way that they approached us compared to the way they approached African Americans. It was a totally different vibe. To the degree that I did befriend people of all colors, and my African American friends used to be like, well, why are you friendly with these white people? And I'm like, why not? They didn't do me nothing. So why should I hate on them? But after being there for a while, I realized why they felt that way, because the systematic approach to them was completely different. I mean, they treated them differently than they treated us. But every now and again, something would happen. And the Bahamian and me had to come out. And I had to let them know quick fast. No, this ain't gonna happen to me. Now, you might talk to them like that, but don't bring that mess here. I remember that there was this one situation where there was this Oktoberfest event where there was like a lot of beer, and it was this outside, like, big party type of situation. And in that particular university was predominantly white students. Call like comedy right now. Handful of us blacks, handful of Hispanics. And there was a situation where this Hispanic guy bumped into a white guy and spilled his beer accidentally. And, the white guy didn't respond, but his girlfriend jumped up in the Hispanic boy face and start licking off some racial slurs. And so that started this big brawl. And I remember vividly, like it happened yesterday, I remember seeing about 6 white guys, this one Hispanic dude on the ground, and they were kicking him like a scene you'd see from the 1960s. And I'm standing there saying, I don't believe that I'm seeing this. Like, I was like, this can't be happening. Call like I'm right now. And when the campus police finally got everything under control, and I'm standing there saying, is this in the 1960s? Like, what just happened? Like, what happened? And this Caucasian young woman says to me, why don't you just shut up? Well, listen, my eye rolled back in my head. And the full baby come out. I say, hold on. Who the hell are you to tell me to shut up? You don't look nothing like Yvonne Malcolm. So who you think you are to tell me to shut up? I asked her one question, and she burst out crying. I said, girl, don't do it today. I ain't the one. Caller, welcome to GPS. Oh, caller, I'm sorry. I take too long to pick up the phone. That was a cell phone call. No? Call back, caller. 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. WhatsApp is 8010271. Yeah, I had to let her know. Girl, who you talking to? You telling me to shut up? Who are you? And what make you think you could tell me to shut up? And trust me, the deepest Bahamian accent come out on her. The girl standing and boys are crying. I said, what you crying for? I could see if I let off one and slap her or something, but I even didn't touch the girl. She boys are crying. No, honey, by the time I left that university, everybody knew who Michelle Malcolm was. They used to say, oh, she from the island. Them island women, they crazy. Yeah, we crazy, whatever you want to call us. But know that you ain't going to talk to me and treat me the way these people allow you to talk to them and treat them. Y'all could keep that. So I am thankful that in our little country, with all of our problems, we don't have to deal with that. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello?
Hey, Miss Malcolm.
Hey.
Was there any reason why you wasn't on the air yesterday?
We were on there yesterday. What you talking about? Hello?
I couldn't find. I probably couldn't find the station.
I don't know what happened, but we were on.
Okay.
Yeah, we did a Wellness Wednesday show yesterday.
Okay. I probably missed it.
I don't know. I don't know. But we didn't get any reports that that we were off air. So I'm not sure what happened. You normally listen to us on radio or on Facebook or what? Caller gone? I guess the caller is gone. Yeah, we were on there yesterday, folks. If you missed the show, you can check us out on Facebook. The rebroadcast is there. But we didn't receive any complaints that we were off air, so I'm not sure what happened there. But we were on yesterday. We did a show on childhood obesity yesterday. All right. So yeah, y'all, I am grateful that the Lord has placed me in the Bahamas for such a time as this. That being said, I pray on a regular basis that he will bring change to this nation, because Lord knows we ain't perfect. And whereas I love to travel, I love to visit other nations and see the rest of the world, ain't no place like the Bahamas. Yeah, believe that. We don't know what we have in this country. And that's why I think, because so many of us take it for granted, we're not willing to stand up and fight to defend it. But know that we are a blessed nation, and we have to make sure that we don't allow this nation to be taken away from us. If you're not willing to fight for it, you don't deserve to have it. That's what Pinling said. And he was absolutely right. So don't be content to stand by and watch our nation go to hell in a handbasket, and all you do is go on social media and make noise. If you ain't willing to put your hands in the fight and get down and dirty with the rest of us, then I don't know how much weight we should put into what you have to say. But we need all hands on deck. We need everybody who is interested in developing this nation and seeing this nation advance and prosper to get involved. Because if we look at all of the problems that we have in this country, as everything put together, we'll throw up our hands in there and say, oh my God, woe is me, there's nothing we can do. But if everybody did a little something, you just concentrate on what you were put here to do. Everybody, a little something, you'd be surprised and amazed how our collective efforts could move the needle and help to improve this nation and truly make this the greatest little nation on the face of the earth. You know, I dare say that the attention of the world right now is on the Bahamas because of this FTX situation. Everybody around the world talking about the Bahamas. What if we got the attention of the world not because of a crypto crash, but because of us being a nation that is run so effectively and efficiently, whose people are advancing? What if we receive the attention of the world because we are, in essence, a beacon of light to the world that is full of so much darkness? What if we could show the world what it looks like to truly be a success? I dare say that we can do that. But it's going to take real statesmen and women who have a heart for the nation and are interested in more than their own pocketbooks in order for us to get to that place. We have proven time and time again that this little nation can lead a charge in the world that makes a difference. We did it with Mandela. We're seeing it happen now with this whole argument about reparations for climate change damage. We know we can make a difference and we can make our voices heard around the world. What if we started to receive that kind of accolade and attention for the right reasons? It's going to take some men and women who truly have a heart for this nation, who love this country more than they love their own selfish greed, who are not going to be willing to stand by and see a fellow Bahamian victimized, treated unfairly, simply because they have an opinion that differs from yours, who are willing to stand up and say right is right and wrong is wrong, who are willing to call a spade, who are willing to get their hands dirty and do the work and do the heavy lifting to make wrongs right. If we had more of those kind of people step forward, the Bahamas could be a beacon of light to the world. But as long as we continue to put people in positions of power who only looking out for their own selfish greed, as long as we continue to be plagued by corruption, and I ain't talking one particular party because none of them have a monopoly on corruption, unfortunately. As long as we continue to look the other way and pretend we don't see the problems growing, exploding right in front of us, then I dare say we're going to continue to be under the spotlight of the world, but for all the wrong reasons. So on this Thanksgiving Day, American holiday, I want us to give thanks to God for blessing us with this nation of the Bahamas, but I also want us to pray that He will open our eyes so we can see how truly blessed we are and give us the discernment to know who we should and should not entrust with the privilege of leading us. Next year makes 50 years, y'all. 50 years. How far we've come and how far we have yet to go. And sometimes I grieve for this nation because I know we could do so much better. But we need you. We need all hands on deck to get it done. And my challenge to you is that we don't sit back any longer and allow the select few to benefit from the wealth of this commonwealth, but we truly make the wealth common for all Bahamians. Don't miss tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We will be doing a special broadcast, Peace on the Streets. Let's stop the crime. Hopefully we're going to have a good, successful couple of hours on air with that, and would look forward to your support. Until then, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of